Hi everyone, welcome back to the IT and Psychology YouTube channel. Today we are going to be starting with our SOP 2 of Advanced JavaScript. We had done the SOP 1 in our previous lecture. You will find the link for that in the description below. And the first 8 SOPs from our Advanced Web Designing chapter. So I've even asked students in our Telegram group if they have received the journals from the colleges. If you have not, please inquire in your respective colleges. And if you have received them, then it is good. Then start noting down all your practicals neatly so that you score the 5 marks intended for your journal. So let's start without further ado, and we'll read out our question first. Create JavaScript program for the following form validations. Make use of HTML properties, HTML5 properties to do the following validations. The first validation here is the name, address, contact number and email are required fields of the form. So if you guys do not know what this means, ideally if you would have opened a Google form, you would find a red asterisk that is for required. So if you do not enter any details in it, it will just light up red. So it is compulsory to be filled. So we have to put these named fields as important or required fields. Then we move forward to our second validation, that is the address field should show the hint value which will appear when field gets focus or key press event. So as you guys can see, I'll just zoom in so that, so here your address in the field here, it shows permanent address. So this text should appear, or yeah, so this text should appear when you click on the field where you need to input the data. So this was the second validation. Then we move forward to a third validation. The telephone number should be of maximum 10-digit number only. This was the third validation. Then we move forward to a fourth validation, that is the email field should contain valid email address and the @ sign should appear only once, not multiple times, only once should it be used, and not at the beginning of the Gmail ID or at the end of the Gmail ID. Then we move forward to a sub validation in our fourth validation only. It must contain at least one dot, that is the period sign, dot. Then we move forward to a fifth validation. Make use of pattern attribute for email to accept lowercase, uppercase, alphabets, digits and specified symbols only. So we have all our details to create our JavaScript program. I'll just share the screen for the folder we'll be working in ASAP, so we can start working on the JavaScript program ASAP. So I hope you guys can be, yeah, so right now we are in the folder we are working in right now. We'll just quickly create a .html file from a text document. So right click, new text document, rename, change the file name extension to email.html and enter. So you'll get a questionnaire here. If you change a file name extension, the file might become unusable. So press yes and it will change to a blank Chrome HTML document. We'll be adding the alterations or the details we need to put in to make our JavaScript program what we are required to in our SOP2. So we'll just quickly open it in our Notepad version. Right click, open with Notepad. So I'll just share the screen for the Notepad as well. So here you might be able to see the blank Notepad interface. So we'll just start with our code ASAP, and I apologize if you guys have any issues with the transitions I'm showing in the video. And I'm very bad with editing, so I avoid editing and I like to be real and show every step of the SOPs I'm doing for you guys. So I hope you are comfortable with this, and if you have any views for these, just comment down below. If you would like me to explain a much better pattern, or would like me to make profitable changes for you guys to understand much in a much better way, so comment down below to suggest new ways. So let's start by creating our HTML tag first. Then we make our body tag, form name, frm1, enter name, sorry, and don't worry, you will find these files. Just you don't need to do it by yourselves as well, but if you want to practice and score better in the 15 marks practicals that will be held at the end, that is our practicals for our IT, that is our 3-hour exam, as I had described in a paper pattern video I had made. You'll find the link for the description, link in the description for the video I made on the paper pattern and explained how our journal has 5 marks, our practicals holds 15 marks, and our main paper is of 80 marks, and the topic wise weightage and the distributions of marks in every chapter in the 80 marks itself. You'll find the video for that and the reduced syllabus topics plus the questions that have been removed according to the reduced syllabus, and the SOPs I'm solving here. Every one that I'm solving here as an instant premiere, it will be shown on the YouTube channel, and you'll find the Google Drive link given in the description. Anyone can access it, and just click on it and you'll have access to all the SOPs that I've uploaded on a drive. Just And if you do not have a PC or laptop device, do not mind that. You can use a HTML editor that you will find in a Play Store, or if you want, I'll mention 2 to 3 apps that are usable as HTML editors from our Google Play Store, as well as if you have an iPhone or Apple device, as I may, you can research for yourself, as I'm not sure about the Apple Store. I only have knowledge about the Google Play Store. So you could use HTML editors given by specific companies. I'll note down 2 to 3 in the description. So without any further ado, we'll continue with our input. We'll type text name line break. Yeah, and this was it. Then we add in our enter address, and we put in a break line. Text area, sorry for this, area name equals to T2 place holder equals to permanent I suggest you use caps, all caps here. And this was a text for our placeholder, or as written there, that address field should show hint value. So our placeholder gives our hint value. So permanent address, and we close our text area. We add in a few break lines. And then we enter our phone number, enter telephone. See, if you have if you see any flaws that I'm doing in the code, feel free to comment down below, or you could watch videos made by uh, Jayesh Rajgor sir. He's also a very good teacher in the subject of IT and other subjects as well. So I would suggest that if you find any issues in what I'm giving out here, you are free to watch Mr. Jayesh Rajgor sir. He's a very good teacher for IT. All of the three streams. He teaches for science, arts, and commerce, and I teach for only singularly science only. So that's a better option from my perspective. Max length 10. That is our max length for the number, sorry, or the digits you will be required to put in as your telephone number. So this was our input type. Then we add in our break lines, and then enter email address, input type equals to email, and name is T3, pattern is A to Z, that is the uppercase, and now we put in for our lowercase to Z, A to Z, and then these should be 5, and then comes our at the rate, that is only in our middle, and this is only singular in our in our field, and then comes our dot, and this also has to be singular as well. So this was, then we put in our placeholder, that is as an example. When we put in our break lines, breaks as you may, then input type button, and our name would be value is submit. On click this, and that's the end of our form. And then comes the end of our body, but not our script. Our script has just started. Slash Java script, and this is our, then we add in our functions for this, chk, yeah, and here then, wait, I had made a mistake. should be rm1 dot t3 dot value, and then comes our post equals to x dot index of, just to make sure this appears only once, and var last it equals to x dot last index of, and then we move forward to making our next line. But before doing that, I forgot to put a few signs over here, as semicolons have to be put in here. Then var first dot equals to x dot index of, and then we move on to our next line, that is var dot post equals to x dot index last index of, if at post smaller than 1, then it would be that the second dot post, then at post plus 2 dot post plus 2 x dot length this is a nice code, and first dot at post last it, and this was it for now. And then we open this curly bracket again, and alert not a valid email address FRM dot t3 dot focus. and then we close the curly bracket, else, and it again, alert, alert, email, email address is accepted, return true. And here is the end of our script, and this is our code. So just sit down, for now. Just pause for 2 minutes and just go through this and understand what code I've written here. And until then, I'll continue to showing the output we'll receive after putting this, just after 2 seconds of revising and spell checking this. So this is correct up till now. And this is correct as well. Slot index off. Yes, so far so good. Okay. Okay, true. Correct. Okay. So this is the correct code, and I'll just show you the output in 2 seconds. So I'll just take you guys to the folder we were working in previously, so that we can open our web page from there and we can see the output we receive as soon as we open the web page. So we open a folder. So this was the folder we were working in previously, and where we saved our now complete web page, or our SOP2. And I'll open it now. So I'll share the screen to you guys so that you guys can see it. So here we are at our web page that we have created just right now. So just to check if our email address is working, or our email address, if it accepts any of the criteria we have just put in for our validation. So first we'll put in our name, Dev Mahe, Mumbai, telephone number. We'll try out by putting in our 10 digit number only. So 91236 7542. So then we move forward to seeing if this accepts our email address or no. So we'll put in Dev Mahe 8@gmail.com. So email address is accepted. So now we know our criteria works, our validation works, our entire JavaScript program works. So this was our SOP2 of advanced JavaScript. You'll be able to find this very web page in the Google Drive link mentioned in the description, and the first or the previous 9 SOPs that we had completed in the previous lectures. So if you have any doubts pertaining to the topics taught in this video or the topics taught in previous videos, you can contact me on Telegram in the group for doubts by the link given in the description as well, and you can support me on Patreon by the link given in the description as well. And if you want to know how much syllabus has been removed for either psychology or IT, and which questions have been removed under the reduced syllabus or the 25% reduced syllabus for the students appearing boards just in either May or March next year. So you'll find the individual links in the description as well. We have successfully completed 4 out of 6 chapters in IT and 5 out of 8 chapters in psychology. So with your support, we'll move forward, and a good news that we have successfully crossed 400 subscribers. With your support, we'll move forward, and our next goal being 500 subscribers by next month. And that's my goal, because my actual goal is just to support students who are just irritated in this COVID situation and do not have access to any PCs or anything. You can view these videos on your mobile devices and use the HTML editors if you do not have your PC or laptop device. View these, try out the HTML editors. They are not just for this HTML and CSS. You can use them for JavaScript as well. And I'll look forward to seeing any PHP servers that, or the LAMP softwares that can be available on the phones or your Android or Apple devices. I'll research more so that I can continue to our PHP chapter, that is the 5th chapter for IT. And we'll move forward as soon as I get any info, so that you all can start ASAP, and we'll run through the portion. And by December, my aim is to complete both IT and psychology, and we'll start quick revisions, and I'll post questions from the Navneet 21 set question book and from other books as well. And there is a trivia quiz on 8th of November. It will be rank wise only for the students that are in the Telegram group. This quiz will be for around 20 minutes or so, for 25 to 30 questions. For both IT and psychology students, IT students will have their individual quiz, and psychology students will have their individual quiz. So I hope you guys will be there. The topics will be the only topics taught on this channel. That will be our first 4 chapters and of IT, and our first 5 chapters of psychology. So thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video, where we will discuss the SOP 3 of JavaScript, advanced JavaScript. So take care. Bye.